Hey, what's up, guys? Been a while since I dropped a video, and it's about 9 p.m. here this Sunday, and I thought I would just get in front of the camera and touch on, a topic that I don't typically talk about too much. Uh, One of the things I like to pride this channel on is basically keeping it real, telling the truth, and just being flat out honest because the fact of the matter is that there are real people in this world, real people on YouTube, and I know that there are some individuals out there who can appreciate that, who can appreciate somebody that's just opening up and telling it like it is, or just telling a life story. In fact, to maybe be a testimony, to maybe make somebody feel good, because some of us are going through similar situations in life that we sometimes we wonder, are we the only ones going through this? And the fact is, no, everybody goes through something. It may be similar, it may be a little worse, or it could be not as bad. But the fact is, we all go through things, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Um, oh man, in a nutshell, I want to make this video basically about complete surrendering and depending on God to take care of your each and every need. Because the fact is, in this life, we don't always have people that we can depend on 100%. We don't always have people that we can just say, oh, such and such has my back, or I can always count on this person or that person. Some of us don't have that. And that's when we can rest assured that we have God Almighty, which is in heaven, who dwells in us with the Holy Spirit to guide us in each and everything that we do, to have our backs. God has been so good to me lately. He's been very good to me, and I really appreciate all that he does for me, even though he doesn't have to do it. Because, like I said, I can honestly say that there are not a lot of people in which I can say I trust 100%, and that goes for like so-called family, and I'll get to that in a minute why I say so-called friends, whatever the case may be. And there's just nobody that I can honestly say that I can depend on to have my back. Other than my wife. My wife, she's down for me, and but that's a given. But when it comes to like really close family, it's within question. I can say that much. Now, this video is not a video about me bashing my family or anything like that. I'll never do that. But it's more so of a video where I'm expressing that I just don't feel like if I really needed help, I could turn to them. And I know a lot of people out there who are like that. Like, they're in trouble, they may be in need, and they know they can't go to their family. Either because their family's either going through their own issues of themselves, or they may be financially strapped, or they just may have their hands tied, or they just may be flat out selfish. I mean, there are those type of families too who are just flat out selfish. And I can honestly say that my family is not they're not a selfish family at all. That's not the case. It's more so of a issue of everyone, well, not everyone, but quite a few people in my family have their hands out, to specific members of my family, and they want gimme, 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 and they've kind of exhausted the resources, and they've kind of just really played the record over and over and over, and instead of like, for the members of the family in which never really asked for anything, but when there comes a time where you really, really need help and you ask, you'll be there. But like I said, the selfish members of the family have pretty much ruined that for everybody. So me being the way I am and how I am, I don't ask anybody for anything, and thank God I've never had to. Well, I take that back. I was in the predicament about 4 years ago where I did need to ask for family help, and they really did come through for me. So I have. That's why I said this is not about me bashing family, because when it really comes down to it, they're there. But it's a shame that it has to be a really bad situation for people to come together. It can't be anything minor. It can't be anything that you could potentially handle yourself, but it's got to be freaking catastrophic for people to get up and move. But that's just the way it is. At least I feel that way. I could be wrong, but that's just the way I feel. Okay. But God, He never makes you feel that way. He never makes you feel guilty when you ask Him for something. Never says, "Oh, that's enough." He'll never leave you, nor forsake you. That's what His Word says, and He always protects you. He's been protecting me. He's been providing for me and my family for many years, and I have no reason to ever turn my back on the Lord. Because He's faithful as He, and like anybody, and not like anybody in life, I have my issues. We all have issues. Like, I can say that I don't come from a family of money or wealth or anything like that. Like, I just didn't. I mean, I don't mind. I'm one that doesn't really mind sharing. My personal background on my personal stories or anything like that, because like I said, I keep it real. Like I said, I was born in a pretty unfortunate situation. I can just put it like that, to where I didn't stay with my parents. I was forced to live with my grandparents. My great grandmother and my great grandfather. And my great grandfather is no longer with us. He passed away about 14 years ago. Well, this October will be 14 years ago. But my great grandmother, she's still alive to this day. She's 81. Well, she'll be 81 next month. And I just actually got off the phone with her, and I can honestly say, is the only person in my family in which I can say she would do anything for me. Like, she would. And I'm always telling her, "Don't worry about me. I'm good. I'm good. Do you need anything? Do you need help?" Or, but she's constantly thinking about me or worried about me, and that's just her nature, because she basically raised me, her and my grandfather, So, I do have a relationship with my mom, but, it's nothing like it could be. And my father, I mean, that's just a lost cause right there. We hear about that all the time. But this isn't about them. This is about, just keeping it real and saying, who can you really depend on in this life? Like, how many people can you actually depend on that won't fail you, that won't, make you feel guilty when you ask for help? That's why I depend on the Lord. The Lord never does it in these things. And I'm at a point in my life where, I got choices to make, lots of decisions to make, and like I said, we all of us are going through something. And there are some people out there who think that, like on social media, your life is pretty much the way that you make it on social media. And some people, they make their lives a lot more glamorous, in which it's really not. Like, you never know what goes on behind closed doors. Like, for me, like, some people think me and my family are so perfect and we're just these stand-up Christians and stuff. I'm like, well, we are Christians, but we're not perfect. And yeah, we do go through stuff, but we also depend on the Lord to get us through these things, and He's really gotten us through a lot of stuff in this since we've been walking with Him, and He's working on me, right now He's working on my kids, working on my wife, just slowly but surely, and He's just faithful and just really, it's good all the way around. It's good all the way around. But I feel like if you're not trusting God, then you're missing out. Because man is not perfect. Man is flawed. Man is always going to screw up. Man might be there for you for 6 days, but on the seventh day, he might not be there. Man may be there for you for 1 month, but on the next month, he may not be there for you because man is flawed and man is tainted. But like I said, God is perfect, and He's always been there for those in which you seek Him. Like if you are saved by the blood of the Lamb, Jesus Christ, and you are of His, and He's going to make sure that you're well taken care of. And it's all about having faith and confidence in His abilities. So as long as you have faith and you got confidence in God, He's going to get you through whatever it is you're going through. He's going to send help, but it's never the way in which you see it. Like right now, I'm going through some problems right now with my vehicle. Now I've had my car for about 8 years now, and I've never really had anything serious done to it under the hood. So it's given me some really good service, and now it's like, wow, here we go. Car trouble. Right around the time I actually want to try to move away from this neighborhood, right around the time I actually want to open a business. It's just so many things going on in my life all at once, and it's like very overwhelming. And it's the type of stuff that I just know I could never bring to the doorstep of friends and family, but only to the doorstep of heaven, which is, just telling God straight up, I need help. I need endurance. I need wisdom and knowledge, all of these different attributes to get through, this time period. Because, Lord knows that man can't help you with everything. Man is always out for himself. I mean, this is not everybody. You got some good people in this world. You got some people that will stretch out their arm for you and make sure that you get where you need to be. But the fact is, the people in which you thought would be there, like family, that's not the case. It's not. But like I said, my case isn't horrible when it comes to my family, but I just know, deep down, I just feel like I can't take that route. But there are some people who know for a fact they can't take that route. Like mom and dad said straight up, we're not doing nothing for you. Nothing. You're on your own. And that's gotta hurt for a child to hear that from their parents. I mean, my family was always like, if we got it, we'll do what we can, or we'll bond together if the time is at hand. And I was talking to my grandmother on the phone, and I told her that I don't want my children to ever feel that way when they're older. Like they can't come to me or their mother when they really need something. I want to be that dad that's like not necessarily trying to spoil my kids, but hey, baby, if you need me, I am here. Whatever you need, I got you. And then that's the type of father that I want to be. But a lot of that stuff has to do with the choices in which you make early in life. So I know now, while they're young, this is the time for me to do what I need to do to make sure I can secure that type of option for once they get older, because I know some parents, they just don't have it. My wife, for instance, she comes from a family that never did anything for her. Nothing. I mean, never did anything. You know, like she basically was very independent, and even to this day, she's really independent. It's very hard for her to break that mindset of being independent, even though we're married. You know, it's hard for her to get on board because she feels like she has to do everything herself because she comes from a family in which she did have to do everything for herself, and it's sad because of how that turned out. You know, between her and her parents and stuff like that, and just it's sad. And I don't want that for my kids. I want to be able to let them know that they can depend on me, but to ultimately depend on God because it's God that I depend on. So the big picture is to depend on the Lord and not man. So, but I just wanted to just put this out there, just in case somebody's out there and they're wondering, are things gonna ever get better? Who can I trust? Who can I go to? What can I do to make my situation better? And the only thing I can tell you guys out there is to seek the Lord while you can. I know some of you people out there might not believe in God. That's your business. That's your right. But the fact is, I know that He's real, and millions of other people in the world know that He's real. And I'm not just talking about any God. I'm talking about the God of heaven. I'm talking about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm talking about the God of the Bible, that book that so many people hate and despise. I'm talking about Jesus Christ, the most loved and the most hated name in the world. And you have to wonder why. Why is Christ the most hated and the most loved figure in the world? The Bible tells us that He is the way, the truth, and the life, and that no man comes to the Father except through Him. When I learned that and I accepted that as truth, and my life changed. I didn't try to dispute it. I didn't try to argue it. I didn't try to find another way because it made the most sense. It was the most logical. And here we have a God that is actually considering me to be His child. And that's something you out of all the generations of the world, you've never heard of that. But you can always put your trust in God no matter what. No matter what you're going through, no matter what problems you may come about, no matter your situation. Christians are called to walk by faith and not by sight. So always remember that no matter what is up, no matter how your family treats you, no matter how your friends treat you, no matter what, God won't do that. That's not God. God will never turn His back on you. God will never abandon you. God will never lie to you. God will never deceive you. God will always keep His promises to His children. Okay? You have to be of His. You have to be a child of God to reap those benefits. God's He's not just going to bless some random person. He's not just going to take care of just some random person. You have to be His. Adopted by the blood of His Son, Jesus Christ. And then once you do that, He has a job to do. And that job title is Father. And He's the best father there is. Better than me, better than any dad on this earth. Because He takes good care of me. Alright, y'all. We're running up on almost 20 minutes. I'm about to get ready to go to bed in a minute. But yeah, I just wanted to make a real video here. A little bit off the subject, a little bit off the top, off of what I usually talk about. I'll probably be taking a little break from YouTube because, like I said, I got a lot of stuff on my mind. I got a lot of decisions to make, and the channel's kind of stagnant right now. I'm not really missing out on anything, so I figure if I go away for a little bit, might get a couple of, maybe about 5 or 6 more subs. Who knows? But I'm thinking about taking about a week or 2 off, maybe longer, who knows, but I just got to get life in order and just spend time, spend time with the Lord and, spend time in that Bible, okay? Really important, really, really important. You spend time in this, change your life, all right? Y'all take care. God bless everybody out there. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you are new. Comment down below if you're feeling this, alright? Peace.